There's a conversation happening right now that will shape the next decade of technology, and most people are getting it completely wrong. The question on everyone's mind: will specialized AI applications survive, or will OpenAI, Anthropic, and Google simply absorb every good idea into their foundation models? Welcome back to the Smarter Self channel. I'm here to challenge the narrative you've been hearing. A few weeks ago, Cursor, an AI coding tool you might use daily, raised $2.3 billion at a $29.3 billion valuation. That's nearly triple what they were worth just 6 months ago. And it sparked a wildfire debate. Investor Ishan Wong posted something that got 20 million views. His thesis? Simple and brutal. Every AI application startup is likely to be crushed by the rapid expansion of foundational model providers. He argues that we can't use the old playbook, the one where scrappy startups outmaneuver slow, bloated incumbents. Because this time, the incumbents are the disruptors. They're moving faster than anyone else. And they're eating the application layer alive. According to Wong, app founders have maybe 12 to 18 months to generate cash before their product becomes obsolete. The foundation is shifting every 9 to 12 months. No startup can build a real business, with sales teams, customer relationships, and brand trust, in that time frame. His conclusion? He said, the only companies that will survive are the ones creating the chaos: OpenAI, Anthropic, Google. Not because they're better, but because they have the resources to withstand the earthquakes they're causing. If this video's been helpful so far, hit that subscribe button. It really helps us keep creating more for you. Now, here's where most people go wrong when they try this, and it's exactly what you'll want to avoid. Now, here's where I push back. I've spent years analyzing AI systems, workflows, and real-world deployments. And I think this doomsday narrative misses something fundamental. Models are not products. Let me explain. Yes, OpenAI can add features. Yes, Anthropic can bundle tools. But there's a massive, unglamorous gap between the model can do this and the customer will pay for this. That gap? It's filled with integrations, compliance, change management, industry-specific workflows, data pipelines that don't break when an intern sneezes. David Roberts, a seasoned product leader, put it perfectly. You're underestimating how much unique UX, context engineering, and embedded workflows are needed to get from 70% decent to 100% outcomes with AI. And he's right. Foundation model companies don't have the incentive, or frankly, the patience, to do that work. They're competing on benchmarks, speed, and cost per token. They're not going to spend 6 months integrating with a hospital's legacy EHR system or building compliance workflows for financial advisors. That's where apps win. Aaron Levy from Box said something that stuck with me. The gap between an AI agent working for 90% of the solution and 100% is usually about 10x more work than most realize. That last 10% is everything. It's the difference between a demo and a product people trust with their business. And here's the kicker: the foundation model labs can't care about that 10%. They're too busy fighting each other on the next frontier: multimodal reasoning, agentic systems, longer context windows. Meanwhile, the companies that are going deep, the ones embedding themselves into workflows, collecting behavioral data, and obsessing over user feedback, are building something defensible. Let me introduce you to a concept that Silicon Valley loves: proprietary exhaust. It sounds corporate, but it's powerful. Exhaust is the data that comes from using a product. Every click, every edit, every abandoned task, every weird edge case a user encounters. Foundation model companies train on the same datasets. They all have access to the same public web scrapes and synthetic data pipelines. But only application companies see how people actually work. That behavioral exhaust, when captured correctly, creates a feedback loop. It tells you what users struggle with, what they repeat, what they trust. And that loop? That's how you build intelligence that a generic model can never replicate. Cursor is a perfect example. They just announced their proprietary model, Composer 1. It's now the second most popular model on their own platform, behind only Claude Sonnet 4.5. Why? Because they've been watching millions of developers code. They've seen the patterns, the mistakes, the shortcuts. And they've baked that knowledge into a model tuned specifically for the way real developers work. That's not something OpenAI can ship in a ChatGPT update. Now, I'm not saying every AI app will survive. Most won't. If you're building a shallow wrapper, a nice UI on top of someone else's API, yeah, you're toast. The moment OpenAI or Anthropic ships that feature natively, you're done. But if you're building something deep, if you're solving hard, boring, unsexy problems, if you're integrating with systems that have decades of legacy technical debt, if you're collecting proprietary data and refining models based on real usage, you're not just surviving. You're thriving. Jacques Reynolds said it best. The real upside isn't in building another AI app. It's in implementing AI inside existing business workflows, where data, context, and customer relationships create real barriers. Let me give you a mental model. Think about the early SaaS era. Everyone said Salesforce would get crushed by Oracle. Why? Because Oracle had the database. They had the infrastructure. They had the enterprise relationships. But Salesforce won because they understood workflows. They understood sales teams. They obsessed over the user experience. The same dynamic is playing out now. Yes, the foundation models are powerful. Yes, they're improving at a breakneck pace. But power without context is just noise. Here's what I believe will happen. The app layer companies that survive won't just be apps. They'll become specialized AI companies. Cursor is already doing this. They raised $2.3 billion not to build a better text editor, but to train models specifically for coding workflows. They're not competing with OpenAI on general intelligence. They're competing on depth in a single vertical. And that's the pattern we'll see repeat. Healthcare apps training models on medical data and clinical workflows. Legal tech companies fine-tuning on case law and contract analysis. Creative tools building models that understand artistic intent. These companies won't replace OpenAI or Anthropic. But they won't need to. They'll carve out niches so deep, so specialized, and so integrated into daily workflows that the foundation model companies can't, and won't, bother to compete. So, where does that leave us? I think the truth is messier than either side of this debate wants to admit. Yes, foundation models are improving faster than anyone predicted. Yes, many AI apps will disappear. But the ones that survive, the ones that go deep, that collect proprietary data, that embed themselves into the fabric of how work gets done, will become the next generation of iconic tech companies. And here's what excites me most. We're still so early. Most industries haven't even scratched the surface of what AI can do for them. Most workflows are still untouched. Most behavioral exhaust is still uncaptured. The race isn't over. It's just getting started. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you think specialized apps can survive? Or will the foundation model companies really eat everything? Are you betting on depth or breadth? On integration or innovation? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's keep this conversation going. Because right now, we're all figuring this out together. And the companies, and the people, who get this right will shape the next era of technology. For now, that's it from me. Thanks for watching. Until next time, stay curious. Your support really fuels this channel. Every like, comment, and subscribe helps us reach more people who need this message.